Governor Doug Burgum visited the southern border today to witness the efforts to help secure the U.S.-Mexico border. He also met with 100 or so members of the Wahpeton-based 188th Engineer Company who began a 30-day mission last week in support of Operation Lone Star.
Where we're going everywhere, we're talking about the economy, we're talking about energy policy, we're talking about national security, including border security, where I am today, down here sharing my gratitude with the two North Dakota National Guard troops that are down here, one aviation and one engineering group that are down here helping to secure the border, doing the job that is actually the federal government's job, which is securing the border.
He also toured security and engineering operations and received briefings from North Dakota National Guard leaders and U.S. Customs and Border Patrol.